It's time for another episode of The Adventures of William Ruby, Private Detective. Brought to you by Wright, the dentifrice that keeps your teeth clean and white.
Ruby here. It's that time of the year again, the time when Hollywood Boulevard is draped in even more lights and tinsel than it usually is. The store displays sport fake snow and faker Santa Clauses. Even the trolleys have wreaths around their front lights. And jingle bells will be so stuck in my head, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and hear it. I don't mind. I like Christmas. Everyone is happy. Even my brother George. Lieutenant George Ruby, Homicide Division, is actually really big on Christmas. He puts wreaths on his doors and windows, electric candles in the windowsills, and a big stuffed Santa on the front lawn. He says he does it all for his kids, but I know my brother better than that. Frankie, my partner in everything important, Frances O'Shea, does too. She even puts up a tree in the office. I don't decorate my apartment, but I do buy a lot of gifts. I like to play Santa Claus. This one Christmas, I gave in a whole new way. It was a weird holiday season, warmer than usual and rainy. The big tin Christmas trees on top of the light posts looked kind of sad as they streamed water over their sparkly garlands. We'd had a steady stream of clients all through December. People looking for deadbeat spouses and wills that didn't exist and hoped they could scrape up some holiday cash. One client in particular, though, defied all usual case descriptions. He strode in one afternoon with a long tube and a determined expression on his very young face.
We need to tip the landlord, the custodian, and the cleaning woman. How much should we give them?
I have a bottle of scotch for the landlord. It's more than that cheapskate deserves. Do you know he's not giving anything to his own employees?
He gave them each a turkey.
Yeah, that'll help pay the electric bill.
Excuse me?
Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in. Are you collecting for the Red Cross? I think I have some pennies here.
No, I want to hire you.
We have a rule against tracking Santa. We don't want to give any kid an advantage. Sorry. Do your parents know you're out alone?
I don't want to track Santa. And yes, my mom works in the commissary at Paris Pictures. As long as I'm home when she gets home and I don't get into trouble, she doesn't care what I do. My dad is dead, so he don't care either.
I'm sorry to hear about your dad. That's sad.
More for my mom than me. He died in the war, just before I was born, so I never knew him. So, will you take my case or what?
Well, I don't know. You haven't said what it is yet.
Oh, yeah, huh?
You haven't said who you are, either.
Leo's the name. Leo Gordon. Pleasure to meet a couple of real private dicks. I listen to the ones on the radio all the time. If you're anything like them, you'll be able to help. I know you're William Ruby. Who are you, lady?
Frances O'Shea, Will's assistant. It's a pleasure.
She's really my partner. And it's time everyone knows that. So what's your case, Leo Gordon?
I was digging around in our attic, and I found this. It's a treasure map. It belonged to my grandfather. He disappeared a real long time ago. There's a chance someone else found the treasure, but there's also a chance it's still there. I want you to look. I took every bottle I could find to the store, and I emptied my piggy bank. I have $1 whole, just what you charge. That's what it said in your ad. I read it. I've been reading since I was 4. Mom says I'm a genius.
You certainly are.
But you don't know everything, do you? You don't know about decimal points, for instance. My fee is actually $100 a day, not one.
100? You mean I need 99 more dollars? I'll never find that many bottles. and I only get a nickel allowance. Even if I saved everyone, I'll be a grown-up by the time I had enough. Aw, gee whiz. Thanks anyway.
Wait, Leo. Don't leave. Giving us a retainer is only one way to pay us. We get paid in lots of other ways.
We do?
Sure we do. When we take on treasure hunts, for instance, instead of a retainer, we get a percentage of the haul. If it's a great haul, we make out real good. Think you'll have a good haul?
Gosh, I don't know, but I sure hope so. I'll share with you whatever we find, 50-50. How's that?
We don't need that much. Just, say, 20 to your 80. Deal?
Yes, ma'am. Okay with you, Mr. Ruby?
If Frankie says so, it's always okay with me. So what is this map you have?
It's kinda kooky. It's a picture of an island, but it's not an island.
Certainly looks like an island. There are a lot of palm trees. I've never seen an island with roads on it like that. Why do you think it's not an island?
If you look real close at the bottom of the island, you can see it says Los Angeles.
Nah, so it does. You have good eyes, Leo.
Thanks. Mom says they're part of my genius.
What is all this writing on the sides and the back?
I don't know. That's what I need you for. I figure it's the clues to where the treasure is, but I can't make heads or tails out of it.
Well, this is going to take some study, and it's already 5 o'clock.
5? Oh, I gotta go. Mom will be home real soon.
Do you need a ride home?
No, thanks. There's a bus that goes right near my house. I should give you my address, huh? It's 4923 Melrose Avenue. It's not much of a house, but at least Mom and I don't have to share it with anyone.
4923 Melrose. Do you have a phone?
Yeah. The number is Normandy 52479. Now I really gotta go. Bye!
Frankie.
What? It's Christmas. If we can't help a little boy who's worked very hard to get to us and honestly tried to hire us like an adult, well, then I will start calling you Ebenezer. Who knows? There may be something quite valuable at the end of all of this.
If we solve it by Christmas, there will be something valuable at the end. An entire day without hard luck stories. Well, let's get out of here. Sadie's making Kahlua pork for dinner special tonight, and I don't want to miss it.
Ooh, I don't want to miss that either. I think I'll take this home with me and study it a bit after supper. I'm actually intrigued by this caper, as the radio detectives like to call them.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but I was kind of intrigued myself. A treasure map made by a man who had mysteriously disappeared? Odds were the map would turn out to be nothing but fantasy. But there was a chance there was a pot of gold at the end. It was Christmas after all, and at Christmas anything can happen. One thing happened that night that we didn't expect, but wasn't very Christmassy at all. We discovered it the next morning.
I studied that map for hours, but I couldn't figure out a thing. Will! The office door! It's shattered!
What the... Oh, what a mess! We don't even have that much to wreck. We didn't leave anything important in here, did we?
Not that I can think of. You went to the bank yesterday, so there was no cash here. The case files might have potential value to a blackmailer, but no intrinsic value.
Yeah, good point. Well, so no reason to call the cops. Let's start with the files to make sure nothing's missing.
Did you just find out Santa's not fulfilling your wish list, or are you redecorating?
Good morning to you too, wise guy. As a matter of fact, we've been burgled.
That explains the door. Anything taken?
That's what we're trying to find out. There's certainly nothing of value, which is why we're not reporting it. Will, the map, you don't suppose...
Nah, who'd want that? Who'd even know about it? According to Leo, it's been in his attic for years.
He may have mentioned it to someone. It just seems awfully coincidental that we received it yesterday, and hours later, this happens.
Map? A client brought you a map?
Not just a map. A treasure map. And not just any client, but 6-year-old genius Leo Gordon.
You have a client who is 6, with a treasure map. I had no idea business had gotten that bad.
Business is not bad at all, Lieutenant George. It's the season to be especially generous, is it not? We are merely helping one in need.
Sorry, Francis. I didn't think of it that way. You're wonderful to be so generous to this kid. Guess it is giving a gift, in a way.
It most certainly is. Why don't you help us put the office to rights, then we can show you the map.
Unless you're here for other business. Not like you to just wander in at 10 in the morning.
I have a breakfast meeting at the Roosevelt. I stopped by on the way over. Don't really have time to help clean or look at the map. Sorry, Francis.
Come back when you're done then. We'll still be at it.
I think I'll do that. The map intrigues me. Never seen an actual treasure map. If it really is one, Frankie might be right about why your office was ransacked.
I have a feeling we'll find out very soon.
It took us all morning to straighten out the office. Nothing had been taken, which just convinced Frankie the intruder had been after the map. I had to admit I couldn't come up with another reason to mess up the office and leave everything behind, but it was still hard to believe that map was really worth anything. I called the landlord right after George left to come and fix the door, but he didn't wander down until George returned. Seeing a homicide lieutenant in his building got him to speed up. He promised to have a new door installed, complete with new glass and lettering. Lettering that would now say, the Detective Agency of William Ruby and Francis O'Shea, by the end of the day. While I dealt with him, George took a look at the map. He agreed with Frankie that there was more to it than an overactive 6-year-old imagination. He decided we needed a little more background information, so while the janitor fixed the door, we all headed to Leo's house.
Oh, wow. Leo wasn't kidding when he said it isn't much of a house. Poor thing. Still, they've managed to make it look festive with ribbons and tinsel.
The Christmas spirit lives.
Yes?
Hi, you must be Leo's mom. I'm Will Ruby, and this is Francis O'Shea and my brother, George Ruby.
Yes, I'm Beth Gordon. You know my son?
Will! Francis! Did you figure it out already?
Not yet. We need more information. That's why we're here.
Figure what out?
I wanted it to be a surprise, but I guess I'll have to let the cat out of the bag. I found a treasure map that Grandfather Gordon made up in the attic. I hired Will and Francis to find the treasure. They're the best private detectives in Los Angeles. Maybe even the whole world.
Treasure map? Detectives? Oh, Leo. Now I know why you were worked into a fever today. Please excuse my son. He's a very bright boy with a very active imagination. I'm sorry he bothered you.
He's not a bother. Not at all. We were happy to take on his case. Do you know anything about the map?
Not much, I don't think. We should take this inside. Come in, please. We're not very fancy here, I'm afraid, but I think I have enough chairs for 6.
6?
My brother-in-law Phil is here. Well, let's get it settled, then we can start at the beginning. This is my brother-in-law, Philip Gordon. Phil, these are new friends of Leo's, Will, George, and Francis. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll go make some more coffee.
So you didn't get anywhere, huh? Probably means it's just a fake.
I don't think so. It's just really well encoded. We need more information in order to unlock the code.
This sounds intriguing. What's encoded?
A map your father drew. It seems to be some kind of treasure map.
A map? My father? Probably a fantastic idea for one of his essays. My father was a kook. A lovable one, yes, but a kook nonetheless.
I didn't think he was very kooky, Phil. I didn't know him long and I didn't see him often, but I actually thought he was a brilliant professor.
Maybe he settled down after I left.
Oh, he must have. Phil has been away for several years. He works for an oil company who has fields in South America. I'd never actually met him until today, though I knew about him between stories from my husband and the letters Phil sent. My husband, Dan, was killed in the war just before Leo was born. His father, Malcom, was a professor of antiquities at College of the Angels, as well as an archaeologist.
Did he pass away as well?
I don't think anyone knows the answer to that question. He disappeared one day right after Dan and I got married. No, nothing. Dan's mother died not long after, so we cleaned out their house and stored Malcolm's things in the attic, just in case he ever reappeared. Then I lost Dan, and I forgot all about that stuff until Leo started poking around. Do you really think the treasure map means something?
Anything is possible, especially this time of year. Was the map by itself?
No, it was in a box with some other junk. Come with me. I'll show you.
Oh, no. It's dirty and dusty up there. You and I will go get the box and bring it down. We'll be right back.
They've had it tough.
They sure have. I feel bad I didn't get back sooner. I missed all of the hard parts.
So, you've been gone a long time?
The better part of 10 years. The job wasn't supposed to take that long, but one thing led to another and the pay was great, so I stayed.
Here's the box. It's a big jumble of stuff.
Thanks. Hopefully there's something in the jumble that will tumble out and rumble up a solution so we won't have to grumble.
Hey, that was funny.
It was nice of you to offer to take Leo's case, but you don't really have to pursue this any farther. Now that I'm here, I can take over. I wouldn't want you to waste your time.
No, Uncle Phil. I want Will and Francis to do it.
Leo!
I think it would be best if we handled it, Mr. Gordon. There is a possibility there's a crime, maybe two, connected to this case. And I wouldn't want civilians to be in any danger.
A crime, you say? So you're a detective as well?
The official kind. I'm a lieutenant in the Los Angeles Police Department Homicide Division.
I see. Then you'd know best. I'd better get going, Beth. I've got to make a long-distance call to my company before their office closes. I'll drop by tomorrow. Nice to meet you three.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. You need a ride anywhere?
No thanks. I've got a U-Drive rental outside.
That was suspicious.
Yeah, and obvious. Beth, I don't want to cast aspersions, but are you sure he's who he says he is?
Leo, we seem to be out of sugar for the coffee. Can you help me find some?
Sure.
Your partner is very smart and very sensitive. The answer is no. Like I said, I've never met the man before today. Did I think it was a little odd he showed up now with no warning? Yes. On the other hand, what reason would anyone have to pretend to be Phil? We don't have any money, and there isn't anything of value in Malcolm's things.
That you know of. He could really be who he says he is. He could also have knowledge you don't about your father-in-law's things. Family scams happen all the time.
There are a couple of Dan's family still alive. I'll make some calls, see if they know anything. Maybe it'll turn out I can't trust Phil, but I feel like I can trust you three. I'd really appreciate your help. But are you sure you want to pursue this?
We're sure. First of all, it's Christmas. Second of all, I'm really hoping the map takes us to something nifty like diamonds or maybe even pirates. The five of us examined every item in that box that afternoon. It really was a jumble. There were chewed-up pencils, a pocket globe, not one but 6 toy trolleys, a book titled Speakeasies in Los Angeles During the Prohibition, a couple of ancient Roman coins, reproductions, a stuffed dog that looked like it was a prize from a carnival, several empty notebooks, a miniature model of the Roman Colosseum, and a bottle of Ultra brand violet ink. I was kind of hoping there would be a code key written in the margins of the book, but there wasn't. I couldn't help but think, though, that there was something important about the contents of that box. Maybe we just weren't seeing it yet. George agreed with me. He took the box back to his office for safekeeping. The next move, we decided, was to pay a visit to College of the Angels. A phone call got us the information that the head of the history department was the same man who was chair when Leo's grandfather was there. It also got us an appointment with that collegiate for 11 the next morning.
So you have been retained by the Gordon family to investigate a treasure map created by Dr. Malcom Gordon?
Well, yes to the retainer. As for the map, we're not sure. Can you verify that it's Dr. Gordon's work?
Well, yes, of course. This is it, I take it. This is handwriting and artwork. He drew many maps and illustrations during his expeditions. As for what the coded paragraphs say, I have no idea. He was not one for skullduggery, which makes his particularly intriguing. He was an excellent professor. He specialized in Roman antiquities, traveled to various sites in Rome and the environs, and made several important discoveries. I don't understand why he vanished the way he did. There was no conflict in his personal life that I'm aware of, and certainly nothing here. I read his journal to see if I could find a reason for his disappearance, but I couldn't find a single clue.
His journal? You have his journal?
Yeah, I had his journal. I had it until this morning. In fact, his son Philip came by first thing and asked for it.
He did, huh? Did he say why he wanted it?
Well, not specifically, no. He just said he'd been out of the country for the past 10 years and just found out about his father's disappearance. He also took Malcolm's appointment book and one of his notebooks with class notes in it.
One of his notebooks? So he didn't take all of Dr. Gordon's belongings?
No. I shouldn't have anything to give him, but I kept hoping Malcom would turn up one day. Well, with that in mind, I couldn't throw away his belongings. If you'd like to take the rest of what's here to his family, I would be happy to give it to you.
Yes, please.
Yes, there you are. Yes. I hope there is something in there that is of use to you.
So do I. Thanks. One last thing before we get out of your hair. You said you read Dr. Gordon's journal and couldn't find anything to indicate why he disappeared. Did you notice anything strange or odd about it?
No. Now that you mention it, there was one thing. Approximately 2 months before his disappearance, he had traveled to Rome. In his journal, he had said he had found some very unusual and rare items, and he was excited by the find. But I distinctly remember him coming back empty-handed, being quite closed-mouthed about it. You don't suppose?
But I do suppose. Thank you, Dr. Farnsworth. I think we may actually be getting somewhere.
You're most welcome. Perhaps that treasure map will lead to its maker. Please, if you discover anything, let me know.
We will. Let's go, Frankie. We have a lot of work to do, and a sketchy brother-in-law to question. First stop, Leo's house. I want to find out where Sketchy is staying. Leo should be home from lunch just about now.
Ugh, this traffic is sucking the Christmas spirit right out of me. And look, at Leo's block, not a parking space to be had.
We're in luck. Someone's pulling out right at the corner.
Will, there's a man running out of the house. A man with a mask on.
I'll try to catch him. Go see if Leo's okay. Hey, you! Stop, in the name of the law! He's gone. Frankie! Leo!
In here.
Did you catch the rascal?
No, he had too much of a head start. You okay, Leo? What happened?
I'm okay. I just got home for lunch when I heard someone tiptoeing around. I slammed the door hard and pretended to talk to my mom. Then I hid under my bed, just in case. I saw a man dressed in black with a mask run past my room and go outside.
Did he take anything?
I don't think so. If he was looking for Grandpa's stuff, he was out of luck. Mom and I hid all the stuff you guys didn't take last night. We hid it all over the house. Now I know where to look for my Christmas presents.
Don't you dare. Father Christmas does not like it when little boys peek.
Father Christmas?
That's what we call Santa in England.
Oh, neat. I'd like to go there sometime.
I have a feeling you'll make it. I don't think this house is safe for you and your mother. Where's your phone?
In Mom's room. I'll show you.
Homicide, Lieutenant Ruby speaking.
No homicides, luckily, but there has been a break-in.
The Gordons?
Yeah, nothing was taken. Beth and Leo hid all of their grandfather's stuff, and we got here right after he did.
No, it's something, I suppose. Was anyone home?
Leo, he's okay. I'm not sure he'll keep being okay if he stays here, though. The guy who I just chased was not Philip Gordon. This guy was shorter, a bit stockier, but he could still run like the wind.
I'm not liking the sound of that at all. I'm sure they couldn't afford a hotel, though, and I'm not sure that's any safer anyway.
Well, I could put them up at my place, I guess.
A widow and a small child in your bachelor flat? I don't think so. No, they can come and stay at my house. Dory won't mind if it's just for a day or two. I'll call her now. Call Beth and let her know. And tell Leo you'll pick him up from school.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, too. See you later. Leo, Lieutenant George, as Frankie likes to call him, is worried for your safety, so he's offered to put you and your mom up at his house for a couple of days. Pack whatever you need while I'll call your mom and tell her, okay?
Sure thing, Will. Holy cow! Who knew an old treasure map would cause so much trouble? Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next.
I can't thank you enough for taking us in like this. It's really too kind.
Oh, happy to do it.
It's actually a great thing for our kids. I was getting really tired of hearing what they wanted for Christmas. Leo is the perfect distraction. And he's such a nice little boy, so smart.
He's a genius. He says so himself.
I believe it. Jay, don't sock your sister. You should be on your best behavior when we have company. And Lilian, don't let him get away with that. Tell him no or push him back.
Mom! Santa!
Santa doesn't mind self-defense, promise. Ugh. I can't watch this. Beth, come help me bring out the pie and coffee before I do something to get on the naughty list.
We need to get this map deciphered. We brought a pile of stuff we got from the college and the rest of his grandfather's belongings.
And I have the first box. What did you get from the college?
Not much, I'm afraid. Lecture notes, a few reference books, paperweights in the shape of the Colosseum and the Pantheon, pens and pencils.
Nah, the other stuff isn't much different. I have a feeling the answer is in that first box.
So do I. It's just a pile of random things, though. What could that pile tell us? Pull out the map again, would you? Maybe there's something on it we missed.
Here you are, Lieutenant George.
This whole thing makes no sense. Los Angeles isn't an island. Desert islands don't have a road network. This doesn't look a thing like a road map of LA anyway. There aren't nearly enough roads. Hey, wait a minute.
You spot something?
Yeah, maybe. Be right back.
Here's enough pie and coffee for an army. Good thing I'm off work and baked today. Hey, where did George run off to?
He thought he saw something on the map. I imagine he went to get some kind of reference.
Oh, so this is the map. Oh, sure, I see what he's looking at. We were just discussing that very thing last night. On the dresser, honey.
You know what he saw?
Sure. I bet you do the same thing with Will all the time. That's how love works, especially when you've been in love for a while. You and your love kind of become one brain. I always know when to worry about him and when everything is okay when he's out on a case.
That's true love, Dolores. Not everyone is lucky enough to have that.
You are so right. I'm glad this house is full of it.
Me too.
You saw it too, huh, Dory?
I did. I'm completely fascinated by both the map and all of you. What did you see, George?
It looks like a network of roads isn't roads. It's the tunnel system under downtown.
But tunnel system? I didn't know there were tunnels.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people our age, anyway. Some of the tunnels date back to the 1800s. Some were made for the trolleys, and some were made for booze running and speakeasies. The captain was talking at the breakfast meeting yesterday about forming a task force to patrol the tunnels because they're still dangerous, and he gave us all copies of this book about them so we could familiarize ourselves with their history.
So the map is based on those tunnels?
Sure looks that way.
They would be a great place to hide something. Chances are pretty darn good that whatever was hidden is still hidden. Now all we have to do is find what was hidden and where it is. George swatted me for that remark. So did Frankie. And Dolores, come to think of it. Thing is, what needed to be done was that simple. It was how to do it. That was the hard part. We puzzled over the coded messages and all the junk in the boxes for hours. Didn't come up with a thing, other than that we were convinced the box the map was in held the key. But what did trolley cars, a stuffed dog, notebooks, a miniature coliseum, fake coins, and a bottle of ink have to do with tunnels? We finally gave up when Dolores threw Frankie and me out and dragged George off to bed. It wasn't like Dolores to be that grumpy, but then she did have a house full of guests. Frankie and I were a little worried about another break-in at the Gordons, so we stopped at our respective homes long enough for a change of clothes and toiletries, then spent the night in their house. Nothing happened, which may or may not have been a good thing.
Oh, there you two are. It's about time.
Hey, good morning to you too, big brother. We spent the night at the Gordons to make sure no one else broke in. Not a whole lot of sleeping was done, so we're a little ragged.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for doing that. Anything happen?
No, luckily. What are the kids doing home?
It's Saturday, dummy. Schools are closed on Saturday. Library's open, though. I went down and picked up every book they had on the tunnel.
Already? That's sprightly even for you.
Dory wasn't feeling well, so I got up and made breakfast for the kids.
I'm fine now, though. Good morning, you two. Ready to go spelunking?
Ready, willing, and able. Say, where are Beth and Leo? I don't see either of them.
Beth said she had some errands to run, and Leo begged to go with her. I didn't think it was a problem as it's daylight and they'd be in public places. Should I have kept him here, sweetheart?
No, they're not prisoners after all, and Beth is pretty savvy.
Phew! Have you two eaten?
Nope.
I'll go rustle you up some grub, as they say in Jay's favorite television show.
Did you find a decent map of the tunnels?
Yes and no. I found a recently made map of the tunnels as they're known. There were a lot made during Prohibition by bootleggers, and nobody knows if they found all of those yet.
This map shows an entrance from the Biltmore Hotel.
Entrances are everywhere. Look over here under Mickey's Saloon. There's a whole other bar down there. They still use it for private parties.
Fascinating. Makes you wonder how many bodies are buried down there.
You think that's a joke. It isn't. We found a couple. Like I said before, the tunnels are not a safe place.
Which makes them an excellent place to hide something. There isn't an X on the map, but maybe if we compare Leo's map to one in the books, we can find a clue.
Excellent idea, my fair gal Friday.
Here you go, guys. Hope you're in the mood for French toast. The kids were, and there was plenty of leftover batter.
I am always in the mood for your French toast. It's always as light as a feather and not too sweet. Ugh, thanks. Just as good as ever.
Will, Lieutenant George made the kids' breakfast this morning, remember? I didn't know you could cook, Lieutenant George.
No, I can't really. I just know a few things, nothing fancy.
Aw, you're too modest, sweetheart. You know how to make a lot of things, and everything you make is yummy.
You're biased, Dolores. But this time, I agree.
Good. I'll get that. Hello? Oh, hello, Leo. He is here. Hold on. Will, it's Leo.
Hi, Leo. Everything okay?
No, it's terrible, Will. They got us. Just snatched us right off the street. We didn't even have the chance to run.
Whoa. What do you mean they got you? Who? Where are you?
Beth and Leo are with me. As for who I am, that is of no matter. The only thing that matters is that map. If you wish to see the child and his mother again, you will need to trade the map for them. Bring the map to the northeast corner of 6th and Broadway at 8 tonight. Come alone. I know who your associates are. If I see any of them, you will never see these two alive again. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Good.
Uh-oh is right. Someone, I'm guessing the guy who broke in, kidnapped Leo and Beth. I have to bring him the map tonight or he'll kill them. And I have to go alone. He sees either one of you and he'll kill them for sure.
Oh, no, I'm not letting you walk into that trap. We'll just make sure he can't see us, or the rest of the police force, which will also be there. Now, where are you supposed to meet him?
Northeast corner of 6th and Broadway.
Hey, according to the book we've been looking at, there's an entrance to the tunnels right near there. Think they're hiding down there?
I sure do, which gives me an idea. All right, it's noon now. Get working on that code. We only have a few hours. I'll go put my idea in motion.
I don't see how we're ever going to solve this puzzle, Bill. We just don't have enough to go on. What on earth could trolley cars or chewed-up pencils or ultra-brand violet ink have to do with anything?
Whoa. Wait a minute. What did you just say? The part about the ink.
Ultra-brand violet ink?
That's it. Of course. I can't believe we didn't see it before. Pretty clever, Dr. Gordon. Get it? Ultraviolet? I'll bet anything if we shine an ultraviolet light on those notebooks, we'll find the key. I was right. Something we found out when we went to police headquarters and borrowed an ultraviolet light from the lab. It took us most of the rest of the day to decipher the code on the map, but we did it. Once we knew where, I realized what the treasure must be and did a little research. Meanwhile, George plotted with his commander. The chance the kidnapper would try to escape via the tunnels was almost 100%. So their plan was to enter via other entrances with a platoon of officers and block any possible route. There was a chance, a good one, that the kidnapper wouldn't let Leo and Beth go that easy. We had to be ready for anything. Frankie and George went with the platoon at 7 and positioned themselves. At 7:45, I tucked a copy of the map solution into my sock, put the map in its tube, and walked down to the northeast corner of 6th and Broadway to wait. Ugh. What a great night to ransom kidnapping victims. Or for ducks. Either one. Now, what should I get Frankie for Christmas? A new gun? Nah, I did that last year. Wonder if she'd be insulted if I got her cooking lessons. It's not like she doesn't know she's a terrible cook. Maybe it's a sauce.
Mr. Ruby, did you bring the map?
Ah! Scared me. Yeah, I have it. Where are Beth and Leo?
They're here, with my accomplice. Show him.
Will, he's trying to get the map!
I know. He wants to trade it for you. Something I'm inclined to do is you're way more important.
But if you do that, he'll get the treasure!
Well, seeing as it was his to begin with, he probably should. Right, Dr. Gordon?
Malcom?
Yes, I am Malcom Gordon. How did you know?
Stood to reason. Who else would know about your map except you, accomplice Phil? Did your father send you after the map, or were you curious on your own?
He sent me. I didn't want anything to do with this ridiculous drama, but he talked me into it. He tracked me to South America. He told me he had hidden riches beyond my wildest dreams just before he left Los Angeles. Hidden them from a gang who wanted to steal them from. He thought it might finally be safe to retrieve his treasure, but to be sure he wanted me to help him. There was still a chance of danger, he said, so he didn't dare try to do it alone, and he couldn't trust anyone else. It took a while to figure out what happened to his things, as both of us had been out of the country and out of touch with the family for so long. By the time we did, Leo had found the map and given it to you. I went to his old department head to get his journal in case he'd written notes in it. I never, ever agreed to break the law and kidnap people, but I was afraid that if I didn't go along with it, he'd hurt them.
Yeah, nice thought. You'd already broken the law when you searched my office. Why did you have to wreck it? Look, for the map I get, but why make such a mess?
I didn't do that. He did. He got mad when he couldn't find his map. He's obsessed with the stupid thing. It's not stupid. Wait until you see what it leads us to.
I'm real disappointed that you, my own grandfather, is such a bad man. I think the map is going to lead you to trouble, Grandfather. That's all you've gotten so far, and that's all you should get.
Pish-tosh. Well, you're about to find out, you young whippersnapper. I've changed my mind about how this is going to work. First, we're all going to look for the treasure. Even you, Mr. Ruby. I'm not releasing these two until it's found. If you want them back alive, you have to come with us. I have a gun, and I will use it if necessary. Phil, go relieve Mr. Ruby of his firearm. But, Father, now!
Fine. You have my gun. Where are we going?
Under the city. And there's a network of secret tunnels there. I'm surprised you hadn't figured that out. I've learned that you are considered one of the best detectives in town, if not the best. A brain like that should have deduced that my little island drawing wasn't an island at all.
But, Will, you are all right.
Was so focused on keeping you safe that I didn't have a chance to really study the map, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Very noble of you, Mr. Ruby. But nobility rarely pays. Get in front of me. Phil, lead the way. And no talking. The map, please, Mr. Ruby. Dankeschön. You had the key to the code for the instructions, you know. They were printed in special ink in my notebook. All you had to do was shine an ultraviolet light on them to see them. Luckily, I remember the instructions. We need to go down this tunnel and then take the first tunnel on the left.
Oh, no, you don't. Dr. Gordon, you are under arrest.
You wouldn't dare! You try and I'll shoot them!
When Lieutenant George says you're under arrest, you're under arrest.
Yay, Frankie! Mom! They did it! They rescued us! I told you they would!
They sure did. Thank you, all of you.
Don't thank us yet. Thank us at the end.
The end of what?
The treasure hunt, of course. You're as curious as the rest of us as to what this is all about. Let's find out.
Good idea. Let's bring the perpetrator so they can see what they didn't get their hands on.
Then 30 paces north. Sure is a good thing you brought a compass, George.
Yeah, sure is. 30 paces gets us to a wall.
Not just a wall, Will. It's a bricked-up doorway.
And one of the bricks is loose. It pulled right out. Men, pull all the bricks out. I don't think that's real mortar.
Ta-da!
Wow, there's funny armor and necklaces and a gold dog statue and a bunch of bags. Ooh, this bag is really heavy. Hey, it's full of silver coins. They look just like the ones in the junk box.
Only these ancient Roman coins are real. They were stolen from a museum in Italy along with the rest of what's in there. I found the story this afternoon. The fake coins, the stuffed dog, and the little Colosseum and the box of junk were clues to what was hidden. The trolleys and the globe were clues on how to find them. Malcom hid them until he thought the heat would be off enough that he could retrieve them without getting caught. That's the whole story. Now you can take them away, George.
What a wonderful Christmas this is. Spending it with all of the Rubies and the Gordons. Sorry you didn't get to keep the treasure, Leo. It must have been hard to watch the police haul it away.
Kinda, but it's okay. I wouldn't keep something that didn't belong to me. At least we found it.
You sure did. You were right all along, Leo. From now on, I'll believe anything you say.
My genius never lies, Mom. I'm going to go play with Jay and Lilian, okay?
Of course.
They're thick as thieves now, aren't they?
They sure are, and I'm glad of it. Friends are the best treasure of all. I'm very glad to be able to call all of you friends.
I'm glad of it, too. I'm especially glad to have Leo around. I, too, are going to need a distraction pretty soon.
When is she due?
In May. You're the first to know, by the way.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, big brother?
I am, little brother. You're going to be an uncle again.
Oh, Lieutenant George! Congratulations!
Thanks, Francis. I have to say I'm pretty excited. More the merrier when it comes to kids, in my opinion. You should have a couple, Will. Of course, you'd have to get married first.
I don't think I'd make a good father. I wouldn't even know which end to diaper.
I could teach you. I've babysat Jay and Lilian enough to know.
Really? That's great. That you know which end is which, that is. I just don't think I'm ready to know myself. Oh, before I forget, Beth, don't tell Leo just yet, but there was a reward for the return of those missing antiquities. Leo found the map, so Leo will get the reward.
That's wonderful, Will, really. But it's not going to get you out of this uncomfortable conversation. I can tell from the way you talk to Leo that you'd be a wonderful father. Stop being afraid of the idea.
Me? Afraid? I'm not afraid of anything. I'd be out of a job if I was.
You are afraid, and that's okay, Will. It means that you take the matter seriously. And so do I. When you're ready, we'll discuss it. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Frankie. To the rest of you... Hi, folks. I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of you for listening. We hope that every one of you has a wonderful holiday season and a very happy new year. Who do I mean when I say we? I'll let them speak for themselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Helen Allemano. I play Frances, and tonight I was Lilian as well. Thank you all so much for listening to our little podcast.
This is Richard Tatum. George, every night, and tonight I also played Dr. Farnsworth. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season.
Hi, I'm Raishel Wasserman. Tonight, I was the voice of Leo, and also coming to you as the announcer. Happy holidays.
Hi, this is Keith Wright. I played Phil Gordon and Malcolm Gordon, evil incarnate. And happy holidays, and thanks ever so much for listening.
I'm Val Kuhns. I play Dolores and Beth, and I write this stuff, and I'm so grateful that all of you are listening and following us along, and I'm the most thanks to this incredible cast for being part of this wonderful, wonderful thing we create.
And I'm Mike Luce. Will Ruby to you. Special thanks to the real Leo Gordon for inspiring this episode. We'll be back next year with a whole bunch of new adventures and flubs and misfires. Till then, keep listening. And don't forget to Nalamsha, everyone.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Nalamsha. Happy holidays.
Nalamsha!
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays. Happy Christmas. Nilamsha.
Nalamsha! This has been The Adventures of William Ruby, Private Detective, brought to you by Wright, the dentifrice that keeps your teeth clean and white. Tonight's cast included Helen Allemano, Val Kuhns, Mike Luce, Richard Tatum, Raishel Wasserman, and Keith Wright. Story by Val Kuhns. Sound patterns by Val Kuhns. This has been a Q Footsteps production. And once again, Nilamsha. Ha ha ha.